Ninth try, here we go. I'm just going to do my cards first so I can have them in hand and ready. I gotta remember to state all three of my sources. This is the TV, this is the chair, this is the couch, this is the other couch, this is the fireplace. Just want to do a fast swing by, and yeah. And I have plenty of space to move at least 5 times. Alright. Let's see what the timer is. 50? Alright. 55. 9. Live action is amazing. We get incredible stories and incredible people, incredible moments. But it is also incredibly dangerous. People can lose their lives doing these kind of stunts. There's a lot of moving around, a lot of makeup and objects being used. It's honestly hard to handle. But not with 3D animation. Now, with 3D animation, all you need is a computer, some programs, and some storage. And you can make incredible scenes that rival live action, maybe even go over it. How do you make animation? To make 3D animation, you need to make storyboards, you need to make models and textures, and then you finally need to rig those models and get them to move. Storyboarding is just that, a board with pencil and paper works plastered that show movement. You make your character, you make your scene, and then you try to make them do things. So you can use these little pictures as step by step to make your animation. Symbols are used to help prove these movements. For Media Crack, one of the symbols used is a curved arrow. Like if a curved arrow is moving up, then my arm will be moving up. Next is the sharp bubble object, which shows explosions, which shows action. You punch the villain, and a sharp bubble object is that impact. Finally, there are the 3 straight lines. Simple enough, but they show movement, they show acceleration. This character is getting to this destination as fast as possible. The next step to animating is to make the models and make the textures. Modeling is taking a shape in a program like Blender, maybe an orb or a square, and molding it, forming it to make what you want it to be. Some models can be small, like apples or people or cars, but some models can be absolutely massive. Mountains, cities, the sky itself. As a YouTuber named A Plus Start says, most models are made of tris, faces, and verts. Tris are triangles, respectively, used in a polygon. Faces are what's inside of the triangles, something you slap a color or a texture on so it shows what it is. And a vert is the corners which connect those triangles together. And with hundreds of thousands of these things, you can make incredible models. But the more you have, the more storage intensive it becomes, but the greater it looks. As for textures, textures are artwork that wrap around the model to give it its color, to give it its image, to show what it is. And the more detailed a texture is, the more storage intensive it will also be. So the more storage you have, the more grand your models and textures will be, the more grand your scene will be. Now, after you've done your modeling and texturing, it's finally time to rig the model and get it to move. To rig a model is to give it bones. The bones in our body move, our body will move. But these are more simply lines with little cracks in them. If you move one of those lines, the model will follow suit. To animate that rig, you can either do two things. You can go frame by frame, like John Petty described, to change the model's position every single frame forward, so that every so often it'll be like this, and then finally move in a whole video. The other thing to do is to give it a track, to put it on a set path, where you give it a time to slowly follow a line, an invisible line within videos. But in the program, it's obvious. And once all of that is done, you take your cameras within the program and you video that animation. And you have finally done it. You have created something that movie makers do, which paid animators do, and what now you can do. To make 3D animation, one must make a storyboard. One must then make models and textures, and then finally rig those models and animate them. And after today, I hope that you know how to do it. And I bet you will make something incredible. Animating is something I've always wanted to do, and I can't wait to see what more animations come from this.